Alright guys, for this for this fix you're gonna need a 1/4 inch ratchet, a 1/4 inch 6-inch long extension, and a 8mm socket. I don't know if you guys can see that. 8mm socket. I would grab a fat screwdriver. This is what you're gonna use as kind of like a wedge between your window glass and the actual frame of the door. That way it holds it up. A small stubby flathead screwdriver. That's for the screws on the actual switches, so you can take that off. And then a small headed Phillips screwdriver, so you can take the main plate off of the. And some grease. I just use this marine grease, the corrosion block grease. I've used the hell out of it, so that's what I use. And always make sure to grease the hell out of everything that you're putting in the window regulator. It just makes everything that much smoother. Alright, that's all you need. Oh, and just in case you drop the screws down and they're way up towards the front of the vehicle, just a nice long flathead screwdriver so you can kind of scoop it and kick it out towards the back of the door. Other than that, remember the 11mm screws, the 11mm bearings, or you can do the exact same fix with these, which is the Dorman window plugs. Alrighty, that's it. YouTube, this is the fix on the window regulator gear plugs. I don't know if you guys are having this problem where you hit the up button and all you hear is basically, and you see the mirror, or the window, just falling. It just doesn't even go up anymore. It's just spinning. So I'm going to show you guys how to fix that issue. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start off. There's 2 screws you got to take out. There's one right here that you take out, one right there where you grab to close the door, and the other one is right here, right next to the A-post. And you're going to pull up, lock your door, but make sure you leave your other door unlocked, so go ahead and unlock that one just in case. You have some snaps in the back. Just gonna have to pull out. Now to get this off, it may seem tricky, but it's actually pretty easy. Just grab it and just pull it through. And you're gonna come up here. You're going to go ahead and unscrew this guy. You got 3 screws. You got 1, 2, and 3 in the back. Okay, now your door panel's free. Alright, your window regulator, the actual motor, is right here. Now there's 3 screws you have to access. There's this one. I don't know if you guys can see relative to the speaker. There's one right there. There's one. Let's see if I can get a shot of it. That's the top one. There's one over there on the side. And there's one through a hole right here. Now I kind of had to booger up the metal of the door to kind of get access to this one, but he gave me a little bit better access. Alright guys, it switched over to a little bit more of a wide angle lens, see if that helps you guys in seeing what I'm doing. But I went ahead and I stuck a screwdriver here on the top. I don't know if you can kind of see it. Let's see if I can focus in on it. There we go. Stick a screwdriver there, that way it'll hold the window in place for when you release the actual motor. It won't screw you guys up, and you won't be fighting it as it falls down and all that kind of stuff. So go ahead and loosen up all 3 of these bolts. These little screws are a pain in the ass when they fall. The screw does fall like it just did for me. It's not a big deal. You haven't lost it into oblivion. You just got to kind of get a big long screwdriver and just help it along to the back to where you can grab it. Alright, once you get this off, you want to go ahead and you want to take off this screw right here. And this is where it's going to expose the problem. Now, I don't know if you can see it. I'll clean this up and then I'll give you guys a real good view of these little plugs that they just go bad. And I'll talk to you guys more about it now. Alright, check it out, YouTube. This is the end result of 2 to probably maybe 2.5 months just after I replace these gear plugs. They just completely fall apart. I went ahead and cleaned this all out so that way you guys can see what it looks like without anything in there. This basically just drops right in, and these plugs are supposed to fit in each one of these corners of the triangle. I want to take you guys over here and show you guys what I've done and what a friend of mine has showed me that prevents me from having to do this every 2 months, because these are the gear plugs. And I also talked to Dorman, and they said that they had made a defective material in their product about 6 months ago. And if you guys bought these, the bad ones are the ones that are like a little milky looking. If you bought these and they're a little milky looking, then that's the ones that are supposed to be like garbage. These are really clear, like they're just night and day difference as far as the color. I bought these just in case. I'm going to keep them in the truck just in case I run out of these bearings. But these ball bearings, my buddy's a mechanic, so when he has a customer's car that these are basically throwaways, he keeps a handful of these around for fixing the window regulators on his truck. So you guys can see what size bearings these are if you guys want to buy them. They're 11 millimeter, as you can see here. In millimeter, they're 11, and I'll switch it over to inches so that way you guys can see. 0.435 inches. Now, it's not an exact fit as far as it's gonna be nice and tight in there or anything like that. It's actually gonna be a little loose. I'll show you guys now. You guys notice there is gonna be a little bit of play, but it does lock in and grab. Now, probably if you grabbed a maybe like a 12 millimeter ball bearing, it would maybe work a little bit better. I don't know if it would be too big. But these 11 millimeter balls work just fine. Again, maybe you don't like this much play, but it's not enough to bother me, especially once I fill it with grease. I won't hear that clicking noise. So that's it if you want this to basically be a permanent fix. If you want to keep doing this every 3 to 4 months, then I recommend getting the actual Dorman plugs. That's pretty much what the factory comes with. Obviously the factory ones are a lot better. I don't know why the previous ones that I've used are so crappy, but if you want to use those instead of the ball bearings, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and use the ball bearings because I don't feel like doing this every 3 months. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and do the rebuild on this. Alright, this is the fun part. The holes, and you want to get the one on top. The one on top is the easiest one to get started. Once you get that one started, then all the other ones will fall right into place because it's going to hold the motor in place. A little trick, if you want to, so that way the screws don't fall off like it just did, just grab a little bit of the old grease and put it on the actual screw and then shove it on there, and then it'll kind of stay on when you're at a horizontal plane, when you're trying to slide it in to the hole, so it'll kind of help you out a little bit. Alright, pull out your little screwdriver wedge kind of thing. There you go. You want to go ahead and get the first thing you want to put on when you get when you're putting this back on, you start off with your door lock little pin, and then everything else will kind of fall into place. That's it. You fixed your window regulator. Done.